This right here is why competition is so important. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. Hope everybody's having a great day. And yeah, we're going to delve deep into the PlayStation Now news that instead of just streaming your PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 2 games, you can actually opt to download your PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 2 games. And of course, this has led everybody to start comparing Microsoft and Sony's two services, Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Now. Which one has the bigger library? Which one is more consumer friendly? And which one is just better for your money? And we're going to talk about all that stuff right now. So let's get into the PR piece here on the PlayStation blog. Sony was so excited to share this news today, as well as the Spider-Man sales figures. You know, they are always so excited to tell you how awesome they're doing. That starting today, you'll be able to stream as well as download PlayStation Now games to your PS4 system so that you can play both locally and offline, all with a single subscription. Almost all the PlayStation 4 games in the service, including Bloodborne, God of War 3 Remastered, NBA 2K16, and Until Dawn, will be available for download, in addition to the PSNOW lineup of classic PlayStation 2 games remastered for PS4, and the feature will gradually roll out to PSNOW subscribers over the next couple of days. Now, this is great. People love options, right? Be able to stream or download, and it's been a long time coming for PlayStation Now. The service has been around for quite some time. It was originally announced all the way back on January 7th, 2014 at CES. The closed beta began January 28th for the PS3 and May 20th for the PS4. Went into open beta July 31st, 2014 on the PS4. Open beta September 18th on the PS3. And finally, the PlayStation's full launch of the service was January 13, 2015 North America, and it eventually came into the UK and Europe around April of 2015. And then Sony shut down some of the ways to access it on February 15th of 2017. You can only access it right now through your PlayStation 4 or your PC. So it's a service that has been around for some time, and it's amassed a lot of games. But the biggest complaint against PlayStation Now was that it was streaming, that you were at the mercy of your internet connection. And so when finally Microsoft came into the table with their own subscription service that offered the ability to download the games, people kind of started comparing the two and said that Game Pass is better because it lets you download the games natively to the system. And now everybody's rushing back to take a look at both services, as now they're both kind of the same. They both offer the ability to download, although the Xbox One doesn't have the ability to stream that. So is that a plus now in favor of PlayStation? You know, it's got more options. You can actually stream instead of downloading it. But let's get into the specifics of the games. Now, PlayStation Now offers over 650 games, while Xbox Game Pass has about 187. So you can see in the comparison, PlayStation Now offers a way more, selection and totality of titles. But when you get it down to what you're able to download, since that's what people want to compare, there's 156 PlayStation 4 games and 12 PS2 games. Now, it was actually pretty easy to find the list of PlayStation 4 games, as I just went to PlayStation.com, and I think this is a European website, but I just typed it into Google and scrolled down to the bottom, and there's a list here of all the games that you can play, and it has it sorted by A to F, and PS3 games, PS2 games. So if you want to see what PlayStation 4 games are in the service, you can do this. And I just basically counted it up. Now, 156 PlayStation 4 games, 12 PS2 games, which means there are about 480 PS3 games. Now, that is a lot. The service was basically kind of Sony's answer to backwards compatibility. They knew they couldn't do it natively, but they still wanted to offer the offer the chance to give them more money. Hey, we know you may have bought Mortal Kombat on the PlayStation 3, and you might want to play it again, but you got rid of your PlayStation 3. You can subscribe to the service and, pay us to play that game that you once sold. And of course, Microsoft was quick to take shots at Sony over that. We all remember, Mike Ybarra's jab during E3 2015 when Microsoft originally announced the back and pat program by saying we won't charge you for games you already own. So 156 PS4 games, 12 PS2 games available for download versus Xbox Game Pass, which has 123 Xbox One games, 61 Xbox 360 backwards compatible titles available to download, and 3 OG Xbox games, Fusion Frenzy, Ninja Gaiden, and Knights of the Old Republic. So you can actually see PlayStation Now has more current titles in its subscription service than Xbox Game Pass. Now, whether or not you want to sign up for these services, basically comes down to if anything in the service is worth your time and your money. Now, Xbox Game Pass is a flat $10 a month. You can sign up on the Xbox. You can go to Amazon and get a 6-month card. It's $60, and a year goes for about $120. PlayStation Now is a little bit more expensive. You see, they offer more games, so the service is a little bit more expensive. It's $20 for 1 month, $45 for 3 months, and $100 for 12 months. And that is kind of a weird thing because it's cheaper to subscribe to PlayStation Now for a year than it is to subscribe to Xbox Game Pass for a year. And I know right now PlayStation Now is offering a thing where if you sign up the first time, you can get it for $10 or whatever. Those are sales things, as well as like Game Pass will have sales here of like sign up for $1. So I'm just kind of comparing the two prices that you can currently, or what their normal prices are, right? So it's cheaper for Xbox Game Pass for 1 month, but then PlayStation Now is cheaper if you choose to go for 12 months. So that's, and if I were to go through and list the games, a lot of them are indie titles, a lot of them are what people would describe lesser games to fill out the library. But the one sticking feature that Xbox Game Pass has over PlayStation Now is the additions of Microsoft's own first-party titles day one, as well as some other games that launched day and date into the service. PlayStation Now doesn't have it. In fact, when you look at most of the titles in PlayStation Now, they are a little bit older. Yes, they have exclusives like Bloodborne and God of War 3 and Until Dawn, but those are a couple years old at this point. Microsoft is adding Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2. Forza Horizon 4 will be there next week or the week after, day and date. They've added Warhammer Vermintide 2, Graveyard Keeper, Onrush, which just came out 3 months ago, is on Game Pass. So I think Game Pass adds newer games quicker, but I mean, the actual lineup of each services is going to be a subjective thing to each user. Now, there is one interesting thing here that I didn't know about until today, until it was brought to my attention, and that's multiplayer. You see, when you subscribe to Xbox Game Pass and you want to play Sea of Thieves or Onrush or Forza Horizon 4, Microsoft makes you, of course, subscribe to their Xbox Live Gold to play multiplayer. I thought that same thing happens with PlayStation Now, but that is not the case. If you actually scroll down here in the PlayStation blog posting, you'll see that, and remember, you do not need a PlayStation Plus membership for online multiplayer on PlayStation Now, which stays the same for both streaming and downloaded games. Now that is absolutely great. I've already talked to people at Xbox, sent a couple messages saying, hey, maybe this is something you might want to copy. There's always this kind of conversation happening on social media about which company is more pro-consumer or anti-consumer than the other. And this is obviously a much more pro-consumer move that Sony's doing than Microsoft is. And I think it would benefit Microsoft to follow Sony on, in this venture of allowing the games in Game Pass if you're a subscriber to let you be able to play it without subscribing to Xbox Live Gold. But then, when you actually think about it, I know people are going to be already typing in the comments like, Rand, you're going to downplay this. I'm not downplaying it. PlayStation Now, of course, is a little bit more expensive month to month. $10 for Game Pass, $20 for PlayStation Now. If Microsoft were to offer multiplayer with the subscription for those games, would they have to bump up the subscription from 10 to 20? That is something to think about. And I don't want to take anything away from Sony here whatsoever, because I think this is a fantastic move. Such a fantastic move that I let my Xbox friends know about it. But also on the other side, when I was going through and looking at the list of games, there is a handful of titles on the PlayStation 4 side that actually have multiplayer. And if I recall correctly, multiplayer was free on the PS3 games. So it's only for a select few titles, as most titles in the PlayStation Now catalog are kind of single-player only experiences. Just putting the entirety out there, the truth of what is going on, and I'm not taking anything away from PlayStation whatsoever. I just wanted to point out that there are a handful of games that actually have multiplayer in PlayStation Now. Now, of course, that may change in the future with this service now mirroring more Xbox Game Pass by offering the downloads. Maybe it gets more titles, newer titles with multiplayer added into the service. Maybe because of this, more people opt to actually sign up. And because of the influx of new users signing up, Sony can take that data and then go to publishers and get more games at a cheaper price that have more multiplayer or are newer, and then you really have this battle between Microsoft and Sony, the two subscription services. Which one are you gonna subscribe to, PlayStation Now or Xbox Game Pass? Which one's better, And honestly, I don't ever intend on using PlayStation Now. There's nothing in there that I want to play. I'm certainly not interested in the PS3 games because I played everything on the 360. I don't really care about the PlayStation 2 games. I would care about the PlayStation 4 games, but I'm only interested in the exclusives on the PlayStation side, and I own most of them. And of course, with Xbox Game Pass, I'm only really interested in the titles when they're actually new. I'm not interested in the 360 games, as you guys know if you follow the channel. I'm only really interested in brand new games getting added to the service the day and date they're added to, the store itself. So I just thought this was, a great move by Sony, giving gamers more options, competing more with Xbox Game Pass, letting people play the multiplayer, the handful of multiplayer games that are in the service for free, which is something that I hope Xbox does copy in the future. And that's why competition is such a beautiful thing, ladies and gentlemen, because it leads to things like this. Without Microsoft, would Sony ever offer the option of downloading your games? It's hard to say. Maybe they would have. Maybe they was in their plans for a long time and now was just the right moment for it. But probably not. But because Microsoft did Game Pass, seen success with it, everybody kind of copies what each other's doing, and we, the consumers, are only going to benefit from it. So that's the video for now. I hope you found it enjoyable or informational. If you did, please hit that like button, share it out with a friend on Twitter, hit the notification bell, hit the sub button if you're new. Hi, how's it going? I'm Rand. Play a lot of video games and talk about them here on the channel. Like to have you as a subscriber. Leave a comment below about what you think about all this stuff. And as always, thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.